Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chalavet Movies. My name is John, and this video was meant to be what movies I picked up in the month of December and January, but that's been put to one side because I just got through the door 2 items. So obviously I had a few things as well that I recorded and I didn't really know where to put them. So I thought, hang on, I'm just going to unbox these things here. One of them is a Video Nasty. And also I've got another box in on here which was done by my good wife, the Debs, and you can see that one coming up, and that's a really good box set that I've just got that I'm going to do a full review on very soon after I've watched the box set and I'm halfway through it. Also, you might have heard me talk about on various live streams that I had some footage of when I shot when the Expendables Premier was on in London, which was in 2010. So I've also cobbled together those little bits, and I'm going to put that on this video as well. And also I'd like to give a couple of shout outs. So the first shout I would like to give today is to the channel Trevor Earis. Now Trevor has been commenting on my videos quite a while actually. We've had some good chats in the comments. So Trevor has a great video which I'll link down below where he's talking about the crowd Indiegogo funding that was done on 88 films when they sort of first started out, and they were trying to branch out and they were trying to bring some Italian classics to fruition, but I had to get some money behind them. So that I remember when this thing was happening, when the people were putting in for crowdfunding so they could get the money together to get these things actually remastered. And he does a really good video on that, and I remember thinking, wow, this is covering everything I remember about that particular event, which happened maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. And so Trevor shows off all the things he got from being a part of that crowdfunding event, and it's a really interesting video. So if you're a fan of exploitation movies and video nasties like I am, I urge you to get across to this channel and check it out. That's Trevor Earis. So the last channel I want to give a shout out to is Grindhouse Chic. Now I've just become aware of this channel, and I know that Oliver, who runs the channel, he has been commenting on my videos, and we've had some good chats through the comments as well. So Oliver, who runs this channel, has just asked me to go and do a video with him, which I said yes, because it's to do with video nasties and stuff like that, which I'm all about, as you know. So I look forward to going on this channel in the future. That's Grindhouse Chic. So now here's the footage that was recorded in August 2010. Now I originally thought that we strolled past and saw the Expendables premiere by accident, but it wasn't. The previous year in 2009 we had actually bumped into the premiere of The Ugly Truth with Gerard Butler, and I shot some footage of that. I was actually looking at the footage. I was going to include it in the one today, but there's a lot of music playing behind it, and I thought, well, here's a copyright strike coming right up, so I will put that on, but I don't know how to do that yet. I might knock the audio down, I might overdub the audio. There's not that much footage actually. There's more of the people who are actually doing the show, and you saw Gerard Butler kind of walking past. But this Expendables footage is really good. Now, when we were there in August 2010, we must have known about this because you can hear me talking on the phone. I was telling my mother that what we were going to go and see that night. And also, after the premiere, when we were walking back to the hotel, we bumped into another really amazing star who walked out of this doorway to this club, and you'll see that footage as well. And so I'm really excited to share this with you. The only thing I'll say about it is, don't let your 13-year-old son loose with a video camera.
We're at Trafalgar Square at the minute. We're hoping to see Sylvester Stallone, Mickey Rourke, maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger, that type of thing. We're going to have that forward to see that. You're talking to me? Right, you run the battery out, man.
How do you turn it off?
Right. Just press that button again.
That button?
Yes.
This one here?
No.
No.
Eyes over there.
Look at this, look at this. It's his face, look.
Right.
Oh, I've got his face. Look, I'm getting his face now. Oh God, look at this. Look at this. Dad, look at that.
Can you see him? Can you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh Dad, I'm getting mint here.
Can you see him?
It's him. It's Rocky. There he is. Yeah, he's right there. I'm not kidding. Yeah.
You see his top of his
Oh, I've seen him. Yes. I got him. I got him. Oh, one more because I'm falling off. I am seriously falling off. Got him! Yeah? I got it full on, where is it? It's gone.
I could lift my leg.
Oh, I've got it good this time. Oh, I've got his face now, I've got the back of his head. Oh, I've got him this time. I got him good. At the back of his head. Yeah, I can get him. I've got Jason Statham on camera now. Is that red light?
Oh, it is, You see him, there you go, there he is. Jason.
I've got him good before now.
See that? Can you see it? Look there. Actually, he's not as big as I thought.
I think I saw a slide just from back in his head. Yeah, but he'll come out. Does it? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, how are you? Have a wonderful evening. 40 more.
So there you go, that's amazing to actually bump into Bridget Nielsen just coming out of a building. And I did, my son was standing next to me and I said to him, go and have a chat, I'll get your photograph taken with Bridget Nielsen. He was very shy, didn't want to. And as you can tell from that bit of footage you've just seen, he was a big fan of Sylvester Stallone. And if he mentioned that he'd saw someone's face anymore, I think I would have thrown him off my wife's shoulders. So the Debs had Matthew on her shoulder because I had a bad back and also had labyrinthitis at the time as well. Wow, what a nightmare that was. So she had the duty of picking this lump up and putting him on her back. So how do you think that went? And I tell you what, if I was standing next to him and he was going about, I've seen his face, Rocky, 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 I think I would have thrown him off Deborah's back if I was a person standing next to him. So wow. Okay, let's do some unboxings. First up is this. Now, this one here is a funny one because I was going to get this on the recommendation of my good friend John Hall. And I thought it sounds like a really good movie. And of course, you go on Amazon and it says, yes, you can have one for £27. And I thought, I don't think so at all. So this one came down about $7.99. So I thought, oh, I'll go and get it now. Brilliant. And of course, it said, yeah, that's great. We'll send it in about 6 months' time. And I thought, I don't believe this. But this wasn't meant to be here until about 2 weeks' time. But it's come through now. I don't know why it's took so long. Another bit one of those camera things. So, deep joy. So this film is Master Z, Ip Man Legacy. Now, John Hall told me about this, and he said that this stars Bautista as well, David Bautista, and oh, it's got Michelle Yeoh as well. Wow! It's also got Tony Jaren from On Back as well. So this movie has a lot of pedigree. So I believe that in one of the Ip Man films, I think it's maybe 2 or 3, there's a character, and I think it's this fella here. Now what they've done is they've done like a subsidiary offshoot from this. So Ip Man, who was played masterly by Donnie Yen, I think he produced this, so he had something to do with it. So for me, this is kind of like, it's a bit of a more like an Ip Man movie than the Ip Man remakes or reimagining movies that I've got. But I like the thought of all of them because I love the story of Ip Man, which is a true story, as you know. So yes, so this was a long time coming, but I'm so glad that I've got it, and I've had. John said it's an absolutely brilliant film, and I think with that casting, it's going to be a winner. And this is one that I can imagine Deborah watching very soon. So that's Master Z, Ip Man Legacy. So next up is the Video Nasty title. So I did my homework on this movie, or should I say movies. This is a double bill. This is another reason why I got this. So this double bill features one movie from the Section 1 Banned Video Nasties list, and also one movie from the Section 2 Banned Video Nasties list. So the movies I've got today are Mountain of the Cannibal God and Cannibal Man. Now Cannibal Man was on the Section 1 list, and Mountain of the Cannibal God was on the Section 2 list. I honestly thought that this was on the Section 1 list, because if I'm honest, what I hear about this movie is this isn't particularly gory, but this one is really over the top. Now these two here are both uncut. What I did was I went to DVD Compare, and I put these titles in, and it come up with this. I was looking for this title, and this one came along with a double bill, and I thought, right, I'll kill two birds with one stone. Now this one here has been released by, I think, Vinegar Syndrome, and it is on a really good presentation on the Blu-ray. It's got a lovely slipcase, but it goes for stupid money. So this one here was £15, which I think is more than adequate to get this. And it's also got some quite good features on as well. As well, it's released by Anchor Bay, so that to me says that it's got a little bit of quality about it. I don't know if the disc is a flipper, but that's no problem to me. And also you get a booklet with it. You get this, which is telling you about the Mountain of the Cannibal God, and you get the sort of track listing for, or the chapter list for Mountain of the Cannibal God and Cannibal Man as well. It's quite good to have those two covers there. I have seen Mountain of the Cannibal God before, and I do remember not particularly liking it. It's got a lot of, and I have seen the uncut one, and it's got a lot of animal cruelty in it, and I mean a lot. So it's not one that I really want to watch, but I know that I've got to have this in my collection. So it's another one that I thought, the Shameless one in the UK is heavily cut, so I'm not going to touch that with a barge pole. All in all, it's not, and you've got them in the original widescreen presentation. So this is quite a good, what I would call one that I can have, that if this ever gets released in the UK, I could imagine this getting released uncut in the UK, and this one would never get released uncut. And I don't think I would ever want to get a Blu-ray of this one. If there was one cheap enough, I think I might. But to be honest, this one will probably do me. It might do with me for these both films. If this movie is like a potboiler, I might just stick with this. And if I went and got the Blu-ray versions of these, I would have been paying 30, 40, 50 pounds for the pair of them. So they're not worth it for me. Then again, this movie might turn out to be a really good movie, and I might want to go for the Vinegar Syndrome movie. This is another reason why you can get these ones like this, and you can try them. And if you think that's worth upgrading, then I don't mind doing that. But I could really save myself a lot of money by thinking this is good enough to just stick on this format. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to look at these two movies, have a little bit of checking them out, see what I think of them. I'll give you my views on them. But also what I'll do is now I'll leave you at this point with an unboxing of this box set that I got by my good lady wife, the Debs. I say. So this is an unboxing with a difference, because I'm not going to open it. The Debs is going to open it, and then she can pass it across to me with views on the what's inside. Here you go. but you've got to get off in one and you've got to open it on the thing where everyone can see you. Oh!
You're welcome.
Deep joy. Deep joy, look at that, deep joy. So there you go, so your job's not finished yet. You're not getting a sharp louse tonight.
What on earth is that?
It's a box set. So the box
It
set,
looks like Charlie's Angel.
it's not Charlie's Angels. The box set, as you probably know from the thumbnail, is the Mary Millington movie collection, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies on and a documentary, packed with stuff. Actually, I thought it was a thicker box set than this, but it's not, because obviously the movies there are in the smaller cases. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have to watch them all. Are you watching these, Deborah?
No.
And then I'll get back to you on thoughts about this actual box set. But I thought I was going to have another Gamera travesty where I ordered it and it said it was going to come, then it wasn't going to come. But thankfully it's come now. And I was
So
going
how long is that going to take you to watch them?
Well, there's if there's 5 films in a documentary, what's it today? Wednesday, right? 5 years. I don't know.
So that means you're going to watch them, which means then you're going to delay doing the jobs off your list, which means that you'll delay in getting your shelves up.
I knew this would come up, the list. She never mentioned the list once. The camera goes on, she mentions the list. Aye. It's all about the lists. There she's going to tell you what, she's rage. She's in a rage now, she's storming off. Put that gun down. Yeah, she's a good shot, Anyway, so this I don't know when you'll see this part of the video, probably in about 6 months when I've actually watched this. But I'm excited to get this for a sensible price and not the price that you've got to pay on eBay for them. £80, I don't think so. But yeah, so this should be an interesting watch. So that's the Mary Millington movie collection. Try saying that after 10 pints. Deborah? Yeah. Okay, so back to whatever video this is stuck on, yeah. So yeah, Deborah, I think that Charlie's Angels and this set of movies are about as far away from each other as can possibly be. So I'm about 2/3 of the way through this box set, and it's absolutely amazing. And I'm going to tell you all the things I found out about this box set on my review. The set itself is region free. It's released by Screenbound as well. So Screenbound are becoming very much high on my radar. I'm hearing this name a lot more times like recently. And this, if you're a fan of exploitational movies, these should be a sort of a must for you. It's got a tiny little bit of a knock there, but it doesn't really matter. You can't really see it. But this set was £40, and there's so much stuff in here. You get loads of movies. You get the actual the special features on here it's like a mountain. You get a lovely booklet, and the story of Mary Millington is quite fascinating to me. I first bumped into her in the Great Rock and Roll Swindle, the Sex Pistols movie, and I knew nothing about her apart from I found out a couple of years later that she died very young, probably at the same time when she filmed the Great Rock and Roll Swindle. Now at the moment, I haven't found anything on here that talks about her in the Great Rock and Roll Swindle, unfortunately, because I want to find out how she became to get into that movie. But what I can say is this box set is really highly recommended. It's got an excellent presentation of the movies in here, and the subject matter is really fascinating. Mary Millington was a really fascinating character, and the best thing about her is the fact is that she championed like no censorship. She thought censorship should be banned. She did everything she could to put in her shop that she had, to put everything that she could that was totally uncensored. So she was a bit of a sort of pioneer of the people who were against video nasties, if you in a way, even though she was around before the video nasties thing. And of course, who did she bump into? She was banging heads with Mary Whitehouse. Yes, she's rearing her ugly head again. So that the two Marys came to loggerheads. So it would have been great to think if Mary Millington was still around when the video nasties things was going on, she would have probably been on telly championing the fact of anti-censorship laws and that. So, but she's a fascinating character, and this story, this tragic story, really is there told really well in here. the amount of stuff, the archive stuff that they've got at Merry Millington is quite fascinating. I didn't know that these things ever existed. All I knew of her was she played a bit part in the Great Rock and Roll Swindle at the cinema at the end. There's a lot of British stars in here as well. Probably people who probably don't want to be associated with these movies. But anyway, so this one's going to get reviewed in a separate video, but I'm so glad to get it. I've been on the fence with it for a while, but once I saw it in HMV and I picked it up, I thought, I think I need to get this. So that's the Merry Millington movie collection. So I checked out Master Z, Ip Man Legacy, and the picture quality in here looks, well, it's a brand new film. I think it's only been out a couple of years. It looks absolutely stunning. It's got that kind of look about it. It's got like this kind of technicolor look, like sort of like neon feel to it as well, because of the time it's meant to be shot in the sort of 30s. It's just got that really sort of unique feel that these Ip Man movies like look like. And I think that maybe that might have something to do with maybe that Donnie Yen was involved with this movie in some shape or form. It's got a spectacular cast. It looks absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to watch this one. I think Deborah would be straight up to watch this one as well. So really excited to watch this one. It's Master Z, Ip Man Legacy. So then I checked out this disc. And this they are fully uncut, I can tell you that. I put on the Mountain of the Cannibal God, or sometimes known as Prisoner of the Cannibal God. And it's widescreen as well, which is great. It's got a few bonus features on it. It's got a Legacy of the Cannibal God, an all-new 13-minute interview with director Sergio Martino, theatrical trailer, poster and still gallery, and talent bios. So it is the uncut version, because when I turned it on and I was flicking through some of the chapters, there was a bit of animal cruelty in it, and you saw this thing. So I thought, right, I know for a fact that's uncut. I wouldn't say this movie is my favourite movie of all time at all. It's not my favourite cannibal movie of all time. It's just one of those movies that you knew you had to get on the list, and you knew you had to get uncut, because I know that it was really cut to bits in the UK. But I don't really want to watch most of the stuff that's cut anyway. I don't really want to watch that, but it's just in my goal to get these movies uncut. What would be the point of getting the video nasties and seeing I've got them all, but they're all cut? So that's kind of where I want to go with that. So then I put Cannibal Man on. Actually, the print on here it's a very clean print. It's a bit soft, but of course it's a DVD. But it'll do me if I can't get another one at a cheap price on a Blu-ray. So this one here, Cannibal Man, I put that on, and really from the get-go, there is some really bad animal cruelty in it, which I wasn't expecting. It's like a scene from a slaughterhouse, and I was like, wow, I didn't think that was a part of this, but maybe that's, again, that might not see it into the British release, if there is a British release. But saying that though, if this movie has that stuff that was filmed in a way that this was a thing that happened anyway, it might get in. And I'm not really championing this animal cruelty at all. I mean, it's barbaric, hence I'm a vegetarian. But these things here keep it away from being released uncut. So anyway, this is uncut, obviously, and it looked it's a full screen presentation, and also it looks a little bit sort of low budget. I don't know what year it's from. I think it's mid-70s. So Cannibal Man here, it says, co-written and directed by Eloy de la Iglesia. So this seems like a bit like a Spanish movie. Cannibal Man is reminiscent of such classics as Repulsion, great film, Maniac, great film, and Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, which is just coming out with Arrow, going to release that on 4K. Now, the thing about Henry is, I don't know, it might be a great 4K, but I know it's shot really sort of grainily and sort of very documentary style, a bit like Maniac actually. I cannot imagine that looking great on 4K. I could be wrong, but I think the movie itself is meant to look a bit grubby, and I think the 4K would just look, I don't think it would transform into 4K. I'm a bit right on the fence about that movie, even though I think the movie is a great film. Banned in many countries for its graphic violence. This intense study of a decent man driven to obscene murder is now available for the first time ever in America, uncut and uncensored. So this only has a theatrical trailer on that. Like I say, it's a flipper disc as well. But all in all, happy to get this one. That's 2 movies off the list. I'm getting quite far down the list actually. I didn't think I was going to get this many this quick. So if I carry on this rate, I might get the whole lot that I want from the section 1 to section 2 this year. You never know. But I'm very interested to see how this one goes. I'm hearing a lot of good things about movies that get released in the future. Like I Miss You, Hugs and Kisses, which is another one that you think that would never come out anywhere. And that's going to come out at the end of the year. I think Vinegar Syndrome or Severn are going to release it. So thanks for watching this cobbled together video, and it's got a few things that I didn't know where to put them, so now I'll put them in one video and I can move on with my sort of the Merry Millington one becoming up quite soon. Also, I'm going to do my what I watched in December and January together, and also what I bought in December and January together, then I'm up to date with them. And so yeah, so thanks for watching, you take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.